Hello, grade 8s, and welcome back to Japan. Now we're on to chapter 13, so you should have your PowerPoint out in front of you. I'll pop the slides right here for you, though, as I'm going through them. And you should also have your notes package out so you can take down these important notes. So here we go, let's get started. We're starting with Japan underneath the shogun. How do forms of government and decisions make reflect society's worldview? So for now, for instance, this is a great question. And why are we asking it? Well, currently we're in this COVID-19 thing, and our government has made a few decisions that have reflected our worldview currently, right? So, staying at home and doing all this stuff, when the government makes decisions, it really affects its people. Some of the topics we're going to cover here in this one are power and control, honor and duty, and first contact with the West. So Japan is going to make contact with the West in this chapter. Some vocabulary that you should be very familiar with is shogun, ronin, daimyo, shogunate, and samurai. All the definitions are here. You can totally copy them down later on if you like, but there they are. The 47 Ronin, this was in 1701 as Japanese nobles went to the court of the shogun to pay tribute. So this is a story that we're going to cover a little bit. And now we're moving on to the Edo period. So the Edo or Tokugawa period lasted from 1600 to 1868. Edo, which is now the present city of Tokyo, was the capital of Japan during this time, and the Tokugawa shogun were the rulers. So again, we have a change in name, but this is what we know as Tokyo right now. That's why we talk about the Edo period so much. Power and control. So before the Edo period, Japan was in almost constant warfare. Powerful landlords and nobles, known as daimyo, competed with one another for territory and power. So it'd be like, I got my condo building, I own it, I'm gonna take it from you, oh no, that would be a good little modern thing to look at. A strong and clever leader is what it took to finally end the chaos and bring order to the country. So again, rather than just power, we started using brains a little bit more, right? Cleverness is sometimes more powerful than power, right? Okay. Unifying the land. The Tokugawa Ieyasu became the most powerful man in Japan after he defeated rival daimyo and generals in a great battle. 3 years later, in 1603, the emperor made him the shogun. Although the emperor technically ruled the land, the shogun was always the one who had power, right? So that was the difference in the pyramid, okay? Holding on to the shogun, Ieyasu had won the power through military strength, but now he needed to hold on to his power. He was determined to create such a strong shogunate that no one would dare to challenge him or his descendants. Hey, that's the play we're doing next year. Descendants. Huh? Okay, anyway, his plan was to create a long-lasting and stable government. Okay, so long-lasting and stability. Those are big things for a worldview to have. Okay, so we want things to be long-lasting and stable. We don't want things to be quick and next, right? It's kind of like when you buy a TV, right? You want it to be long-lasting and stable. You don't want it to die early, right? And then you have to buy another TV. Anyway, controlling the daimyo. The first step was to control the daimyo, some of whom had fought against him before he became shogun. He had the daimyo watched closely, right? So again, we want to control these people who have power and, loyalty things. So he gave loyal landlords domains, that is, areas of land, next to domains of lords whose loyalty he questioned, so they could watch over their every move. So they put them with somebody to watch them. You're like, oh, no, you guys both get land. Like, oh yeah, I trust you both. But he only trusted one of them, right? The other one, he didn't trust. So he got the one he trusted to watch the one he didn't trust. And he'd be like, hey, how's everything going? Like, he's doing things you wouldn't like. Okay, get him, right? Okay. Alternate attendance. Alternate attendance was used as another effective measure in ensuring stability to Japan. This meant that every second year the daimyo were forced to live in Edo, the other year, they would live in their domain. The cost of keeping up two homes and moving every year meant that the daimyo would not have enough time or money to challenge the shogun, right? So it'd be like, oh yeah, but you were saying, oh, don't you have to pay that other house? Oh, you got too much on your mind. You don't have time to challenge me, right? So keeping people busy makes them think less. And then they're busy, they don't think, they're like, oh, I guess I won't mention anything. I'll have time next month. And then they never did. The daimyo were required to leave their family members in Edo during their absence. They were called guests of the shogun, but really, they were hostages, okay? So they would take them away and then say, hey, we're gonna leave your family here, and if you don't do a good job, we'll see what we do with those prisoners, right? There were many uprisings or even rumors of a plot that involved an absent daimyo. His family members were killed, right? So if there were any kind of rumors of any kind of uprising or anyone trying to, go against the government and all that, then they would kill their family members. No questions asked. But they were guests. Okay, sharing power. So the Bakuhan system of 2 levels of government was established. The shogunate, the equivalent to our federal government, had control over important matters such as foreign trade and relations. Okay, so the shogunate is like the federal government. The daimyo controlled local affairs in their territories. So the daimyo would then be like Jason Kent, okay, our premier. Strict laws established by the shogunate controlled many aspects of the daimyo's lives, such as dress code and marriage, okay? They also required the daimyo to pay for projects such as roads, building, and other territories, and then this also would then therefore restrict their wealth. They wouldn't be making tons and tons of money, okay? Despite the measures taken by the shogun, there were many peasant disturbances and urban riots during the Edo period over taxes and food shortages. So, it sounds like a pretty perfect system for power to remain in control, but no matter what, there's always going to be uprising. There's always going to be people complaining. However, through all these, the shogun still maintained control over Japan. So they were small uprisings, not like powerful people uprisings. They were just people complaining. So it's like, Mr. Reno, I wish you'd use Twitch instead of YouTube. Which would be kind of a weird thing because I'm not like streaming a game right now, right? But let's say that was what you wanted. I want you to change something that you're doing, Mr. Reno. And a couple of you are like, yeah, I wish you'd stream on Twitch rather than YouTube. But then most people still log into YouTube, I'd still win, right? That's how you would maintain control. Kind of a weird example. Take it or leave it. Okay. So here's a chart that kind of shows how the shogun's power was increased and how the daimyo's power was decreased. Go ahead and read through that. So after you read through that, which means of controlling the daimyo would be most effective in ensuring loyalty? See if you can answer that question. Which means of controlling the daimyo would be most effective in ensuring obedience? See if you can answer that question. Okay, so those are 2 little questions for you to stop and look at. You can always pause my video whenever or go back. That's why I move so fast. Some people just like to get the content. Other people like to pause or rewatch. Totally up to you. Again, that's why I post it. If I wanted to give this a one and done thing, I'd live stream.